What's this?
And what? Yeah, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what we say when we're live? Ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER on Phil Geeks. And today we have Dayveonne. Look at that power, look at that fist. And we have Corey. Look at that brain next to the fist. And you're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi, fantasy, geek culture, and geek content. Whew. Yeah, we throw in some technology because we're cool like that too. So you're watching GEEKCASTER, and today we're going to talk about Invincible. We're going to talk about Mortal Kombat. We're going to talk about Hawkeye and Leatherfoot. What is it?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Are you?
How do you keep saying Hawkeye?
What else we're talking?
Forgive the little red guy, ladies and gentlemen.
What else we're talking about?
Stuck on Sesame Street.
Yeah. What else we're talking about today?
He's from Sesame Street.
Yeah, keep saying that. See if Disney and one of those people don't come after you for copyright. Yeah. No, what else we talking about today?
Mortal Kombat, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Invincible.
That's it?
Yes.
I guess that's a lot. Well, let's go for it. Let's start out with let's start about Mortal Kombat, since this has been like the buzz on the street. We've been waiting for this for so long. Dayveonne has been waiting patiently, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? It happened. So what do you think, Dayveonne, since you got your... In fact, Dayveonne started talking about it before we started talking about it, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Dayveonne? What do you think about Mortal Kombat?
In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen,
That's what you're asking for.
I like the film.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I would say like this. I wasn't expecting Mortal Kombat to be 100% perfect. I wasn't. What I was expecting was what they stated that they was going to offer. A fun, entertaining, gory movie.
All right. And Corey?
Is that it? Is that it?
Yes.
Just like that assumption or review with the movie, I was completely underwhelmed. I thought that they had plenty of time to give us a lot more than the original. And frankly, I like the original Mortal Kombat better than this movie. This movie was confusing. It did not live up to the hype. I thought the goriness was cool. But outside the storyline, they tried to use the original characters without using good original characters. A build-up arc, however you want to say that. It just felt as though all of this time has passed and they gave us not even a Netflix-worthy B-movie.
Wow.
Ouch.
That was deep.
Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch.
Whoa.
Ouch.
I'm sorry. I thought it could have been better. The corny references, the use of the score of modernizing Mortal Kombat, that was cool. Some of the quips like, "Oh, finish him, flawless victory, yay!" Just throw that in there. Yeah, it could have been better. I waited so long to be disappointed.
But the thing about it is, Corey, and I'm going to say this before Geeks open his mouth. Yeah. I felt as though it did better than was it Annihilation? Can we say that? It did way better than. Huh?
Barely.
No, not no barely, dude. Not barely. It surpassed Annihilation.
With I would
It's
say
a fact.
watchability, I would say barely. I could watch Annihilation. Yes, it had a lot of flaws.
Oh my God,
It had a
Corey,
lot of flaws.
really, Corey? Oh
What?
my God, no,
How terrible
No.
was Annihilation?
no,
Annihilation.
huh?
How terrible was Annihilation?
Annihilation was horrible. It was to the point that the only reason somebody could watch Annihilation was that 5-minute fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and not behind, and that was it. At least with this was somewhat. It was entertaining.
I
Yes.
feel that that's a stretch.
No.
Well, this is the thing. If I may, I'm somewhat in between you two guys. I feel that like there are things that were nice. Their take, trying to tell their own story. It's just there's so many things that didn't connect and were left open, or like there was like, come on guys, you could have sewed that up. You could have taken some time to sew that up. And there were things like physically that just like, for instance, when Sub-Zero had his hand on Jack's gun, and it was cool to see the bullets come out slowly, but that makes no sense. See what I'm saying? Like, it just made no sense physically. Just math, science.
All right, explain how it didn't make no sense.
Because that burst, it should have went out further. I don't know if you like, you know what I mean? Like it didn't make sense that he was able to stop that. Like, it would go through ice. If you take a shotgun, it'll go through ice. It'll just, go right. Anyway.
But I get the density of it, of Sub-Zero's coldness, because it's Sub-Zero temperatures.
Yeah.
Still, but I agree with you. It
went too far with Sub-Zero's powers. His powers were so extensive to the point where it was beyond the original character, to the point where he shouldn't even have lost. Like he could freeze a whole block, he can make it snow, he can do all that, but then all he has to do is just freeze people. He didn't even have to fight, really. Like, he only fought for fun.
But that's the thing. They gave us some of the moves, like when he gives his what do you want to call it? His teleportation. This is my dummy version of me, and you hit that, and then the ice wall, and he punches you through it. They gave us moves from the game, but even the game storyline is way better than this movie.
Now, there were some things there were some things I have to say I did like a lot. When what was it, Liu Kang, when he was doing his sweep move, and how the guy was like, that's the only move you got? It's so funny because it reminds me of playing the video game and people would just do that one move over and over again. So I thought that was really clever. No one's ever done anything like that in a movie. So I thought that was like awesome. That was my childhood, and thank you so much for throwing that in there. That was clever. But how can you be a writer, be that clever and cool, throw that in there, but then you have like, oh, I came from hell and now I'm gonna fight. Wait a minute. Can you show how you were in hell? Can you show how you got out of that? Like, it just made no sense. He just popped, oh, now I can fight you. I don't know.
That part annoyed me because, yes, the storyline is he made the deal to come back just so that he can avenge his family's killer. But how do you just come back with the little shirt? Like, it made no sense. No sense whatsoever.
Right. Now, it was interesting, too, the baby. I thought they were really building up to something nice. In the beginning, oh my goodness, you're so cold. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. The baby's gonna like show the baby has powers, and and then he didn't have any kind of powers like that. In fact, his dad's power was fire. So why was the baby so cold? Did you guys remember that in the beginning?
Yeah,
no,
but
the house was cold.
Yeah, and also it was but also it stated that Sub-Zero was coming.
Oh, okay. But how come nobody else was? Shouldn't she have been like, everybody's so cold? Like,
yeah, but that's what happened in the house. No, it wasn't just the baby, because they noticed that it was cold in there, so they was like, okay, they didn't pay no mind to it, because they're thinking, okay.
Okay. I see where you're going with it. Okay.
Look,
Right.
the beginning of that whole beginning sequence was, I think, perfect. You gave us a little bit of backstory, like, oh, this is their duel, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then they set the bar this high.
The bar was pretty high.
And right after that, it lost me. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. The fight scenes, the goriness, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And I don't know what happened. Can someone explain it to me?
Okay. Like I was talking to other peers, I stated that when they shot this was during the pandemic as well. Like, it was pre-pandemic heading into the pandemic. That's number one. Number two, they cut funding from the movie because of the pandemic.
Oh, you can see by the graphics.
No, the graphics wasn't bad. for the budget they had, the graphics wasn't bad. It was supposed to be more stuff in the movie, but because of the budget cuts, they took it out.
That whole phrase, because the budget of what they had, the graphics weren't that bad.
It wasn't bad. Like, okay, tell me about what graphics was bad besides Goro.
Besides Goro. All right. Reptile was cool. Melina at times was a little inconsistent. Like, oh, when they showed her face, that was cool. But up to then, it looked like a Walking Dead zombie. It just didn't sit right with me. Reptile was cool. Cabal had his moments. Kano's eye laser looked really like it looked like a laser pen, like the one you play with cats. I'm like, it doesn't look like that. It's not that sharp. Okay. The spine scene with Sonya Blade's finishing move, that spine looked weird, but the rings around her wrist, oh my gosh, the energy bracelets, that was cool, but then that other part was weird. Like, it was very inconsistent. Like, it had cool moments, and you can see like where they were concentrating on, but then everything else fell.
I don't think
Is it just me?
you know what? I didn't really have a big problem with the special effects because the bar is so low with the original with special effects. You know what I mean? Like, the technology just wasn't really there. But the problem with me was just the script. I wanted more. I wanted more understanding. I wanted to feel the characters. Why are you chosen? What was your life like while you were being chosen? Why did Mr. Man come back from hell? Like, I want to see you make a deal. I want to see him fight out of... You know what would have been really cool? If he had to fight his way out of hell and then make a deal, that would have been amazing. Yes, Hollywood, write that down. And you better give me credit. That would have been amazing. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a little bit more. Don't, I'm back. I'm here. Oh, this is that moment. Ooh, he's there. No. Because anyone that's logical will be like, wait a minute. That's just too perfect. You just really just kind of like... It just reminds me like all those movies we guys talk about, and we're like, okay, randomly. Yay, you saved the day. Yeah, didn't see that. Oh, wow, sure.
That also gave me another inconsistency, right? They had all the original characters sans Johnny Cage, but then they also said in the beginning of the film, all the other champions are dead. But then you show us Johnny Cage at the end. Like, oh, spoiler, sorry. Like, that made no sense.
Well, all right.
Well,
but
but there are other champions. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be the same characters from the video game. There were other past champions. But
what do you think about that comment, though, Dayveonne? That's fair. If they say all the other champions are dead, did they say all or most? They did say all.
No,
right?
they said all. They all, and they showed you Nightwolf. They who else did they show? They showed a couple of people.
So then, why at the end they said there were more out there? If they were all dead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because think about it, there's other options. It's not just like. Not only that, if you really read about Nightwolf's lore, there were other Nightwolves. It wasn't just one Nightwolf.
Wait a minute.
Just like Kung Lao.
Huh?
Just like Kung Lao's lineage.
When what's his name died, his dragon should have went somewhere, so that made sense. Remember when they killed what was his name? The one with the hat.
Kung Lao.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't his dragon go somewhere else? So that would make sense. Maybe it went to Johnny because he died.
No, it will go to the next of kin or the next to the bloodline.
So no, it goes to the person who defeated the champion. That's
no. You misheard. What happened is, if you face somebody with the same tattoo, that tattoo goes to the next of kin, which in the bloodline. Now, if you face somebody that doesn't have a tattoo and that person kills you, they take the tattoo. That was explained in the movie.
Yeah, but that made no sense. That's how.
No, it does.
All right, so Sang Shung is out here collecting souls, so there should be more champions, right? But they were also going out killing all the other champions. So how does that make sense?
Because there were other. It wasn't just the first tournament. This is not the only tournament. There's been
I know
10
that.
consecutive. All right, it's been 9 consecutive tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those 9, of course, you kill majority of the champions that's supposed to be representing Earth's realm. This is a new generation type thing when they did with Mortal Kombat 1. You've been chosen. Raiden kind of, like, whoever gets the tattoo gets it. Now, they can't get them when they're kids. They get them when they're the appropriate age or feel as though they mastered the art of knowing how to fight to be a part of the tournament.
Actually,
So you...
Dayveonne, you just hit on something really deep there because they still have to do the 10th. They still have to do the 10th match, so they have to have a part 2 to this.
Exactly. That's not the only champions. There's other champions. That's why I said with the tattoo, it doesn't go to another person that has a tattoo. It goes to another person that killed them, or for the person that
You
let's say
explained it fine before. You didn't have to say it again. We got you.
okay.
Yeah. I just didn't
But
catch
Corey,
that. I missed that
Corey
when I was
looks
watching.
confused. Corey's looking confused. That's why I had to
Yeah,
explain.
because this is my whole point, right? They're not playing by the rules. So why are you
Oh,
saying
that's
like
what they stated.
right?
It's always a fail safe.
How's that fail safe? If they're going around killing people before the tournament, how does that?
All right, number 1. The tournament is coming soon. They didn't say when. They didn't say what year or day. Number 2, you still have enough time to find champions. Like, let's say I could basically become a Mortal Kombat champion. Long as I carry the tattoo.
Right, but you're saying the lineage, and they killed off all lineages. Like that's what
They killed all the lineages. They thought they killed all the Shiryu, and they forgot the baby.
Okay. So, because we do got to go to another topic, but so basically, all these people that were killed, it just goes to their kids. So they're the new generation. They're
Or
younger and they're ready to fight. Right.
Yeah.
Unless you don't have a tattoo and you kill them, then you interrupt the bloodline and you take it from them.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird thing. It's kind of weird, but they could have made it a lot neater. But I get it.
Yeah, like there's a couple of people in Mortal Kombat 2 that wasn't supposed to be in the tournament. Striker wasn't supposed to be in the tournament.
All right. Well, we're like 17 minutes deep.
I
into
know.
This one.
I apologize.
So, are we gonna watch this or not? Do you guys recommend it, or what's your final thoughts? How many geeks are we gonna give it?
I will give it a 3.5 G.
Okay.
I would give it a 2.5. You know what? I'll give it a 3. 3 out of 5.
Alrighty. I'm thinking up 3.4 just to be nice. Right there. But I would say watch it. Listen, it's a smooth watch. You know, listen, if you like the video game, you'll definitely want more gore. It almost wasn't enough, really, to be Mortal Kombat. You'll like the references, but I do agree with you, Corey. I feel like they threw things in there because they felt they had to, just enough. But watch it.
Also, I'm going to say, if you're not a fan, you will really like it because of the fact that it was something that was a roller coaster ride that was fun, and had its gory moments.
Yeah, you don't know any better. You don't know any better.
No, I talked to a lot of people that knew nothing about Mortal Kombat, and they loved the film.
All right, so let's go to Invincible. Okay. What did you guys think of this animated thing? Oh, by the way, Mortal Kombat, you can see that on HBO, and you can see it in movie theaters. But now let's talk about Invincible, which is an animated series, and you can see that on Prime. Amazon Prime. So what did you guys think of Invincible?
Interesting, gory, and quirky at the same time.
I thought, by the names of people, Robert Kirkman, didn't Seth Rogen have a hand in this?
Yeah, he's one of the executive producers. Yeah,
producers.
Yeah, so with those names, you're like, oh man, I don't know what to expect, and I really didn't expect this animated superhero drama that I needed in my life. It's very thoughtful at times. The superpowers, obviously, you know where they come from, but think the storyline with the whole father son, him getting his powers, and the development of characters that we find out, especially episode 5. Yeah, I really didn't expect this series to go this way, and I'm invested. I can't wait for the next episode.
Wow, Dayveonne. I feel really good because we've been telling Corey to watch this for weeks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what?
You're welcome.
I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed that you've been watching it. You know, it took a lot of strength and a lot of cojones. I can say cojones, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Swedish for meatballs.
You know, because we've been forcing this guy to watch it, and he's been neglecting it throughout the whole entire, I would say, 4 weeks. Was it 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's been about that. It's been, well, no. It's been like 5 weeks because
Yeah, it was-
5 weeks.
I think I started watching it when episode 6 came out, and then I just watched it right before episode 7 came out, and I binged it. So, yeah.
But I have to say, like, well, you hit it on the nose. I mean, the character development, it was something different. But buyer beware, the first episode, you got to get through that one.
Yeah.
You got to get through the first episode. The first episode will make you be like, maybe, well, what's going on? Is this going to be the typical, like, okay, this one really is Batman, and this one really is this one. And once you get over that, and once the writers get over that, it moves on to something like, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen so soon. And, whoa. You know what it reminded me of? Old Kirkman. Like, when it comes to, like, old Walking Dead, where you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You just got rid of that character. Wait a minute. Wasn't I supposed to, like, fall in love with that character? And I love that. I hope we see more of that.
It is kind of like if the Boys series were an animated series, this is what you get. And with the drawing animation style, it gives me feelings of like the Boondocks as well as Archer. So, like you said, once you get past episode 1, it literally is its own thing. And then you get into that world and then you just can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And just to let those audience know that Corey thought of doing the Boys animated TV show. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, give me credit.
Yeah.
Now, silence.
All right.
I know.
So basically, from the 5 G's there, what are we giving it? I'm thinking 4 G's.
I'm still going to stick with, I'm going to say 3.8.
All right.
I want to give it 4.5. I'm actually surprised you guys didn't give it higher marks.
You know what? The
Because
first episode really kind of like, you know, if they came in stronger, you know what it was? The pacing.
Yeah.
And I get it because it's hard to do a pilot. You're introducing things. You're welcoming people into the world. I think the introduction to the world, I don't know what I would do better, but I think it could have been better because if you let that first episode stop you, you're really missing out on some goodies. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, we're still going through it, so it's not over yet. Season 1's not finished. So I think so far, to be fair, what are we going to rate it so far? And so far, I can give it a solid 4, even if the other ones fall flat. I think episode 5 was just so amazing. It's one of the best animated things as far as story fights that I've seen in a very long time in a USA animated series.
I think I'll have to agree with you. I think I'm going to change my answer to 4 because they do have to world build, and I guess that's the problem with building worlds that people have to get acquainted with.
Mm-hmm.
At times it can feel like it's sluggish, but it is about a 45-minute watch. It can't be any less because it's just not enough time to get to where we get to.
Right.
So, yeah, I have to agree.
So that's 2 4s, and Dayveonne, you're going to stay 3.5?
3.8.
3.8. All right.
Not even 3.9?
All right, now, Falcon and Winter, what is it?
Oh,
Winter
Soldier. Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
I'm gonna watch that between now and the next show because you guys are. I was kind of like Corey with the Invincible. But so now it's my turn to check
Get
this out.
harassed.
Yeah, so not get harassed, to check it out. Yeah.
So we doing a spoiler review this time
Yes.
because the show is basically over.
Well, we got a few minutes, but what's your quick pitch for people like me that haven't seen it yet? Should we be watching this? Is it worth it?
Yes, it's phenomenal. It's one of those shows where you gain like knowledge of how the whole turbulence of the Winter Soldier, and also why with the Falcon, with the whole Shield situation, it's like it goes into the historic aspect of Black America and back in the days. Am I right, Corey?
Yeah. Also, if you, well, this goes straight to Phil. You didn't like WandaVision at first because you didn't know what to expect, and once you started watching it, it was great. And people were like, "Oh, this can't be better than WandaVision," but it actually is. And once you start watching it, you're gonna realize how many ways it is better. Because while that's going on, this show's going on. So we are stuck in Wanda's world, but now we're getting a better vision of how the world actually is post blip, and they go right into it, and it's very deep.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if that doesn't get you, see, Corey will get you. And then Dayveonne just like hits the hammer where it's like done deal. You can't even, nothing you could say. Yeah.
Now, our ratings for this show, besides Geeks, because Geeks got to watch it.
Yep.
Corey, what do you rate this show? I mean, this whole series.
I'm going to give it a 4.7, honestly. Yeah, out of everything.
All right, I need drum rolls. Please. 5G, baby. 5G.
Full 5G.
A full 5G, because that show had me emotionally throughout the whole entire series. I cried at the very end, not once, but twice.
I will say, yeah, those two scenes that Dayveonne's talking about, they didn't make me cry, but they did get to me. Like, it's a very introspective look upon yourself, and it's very...
All right, I'll watch it. Gee, boy, can you twist
Talk
my
about world
arm?
Okay. See what you started, Phil?
I see, says the man that couldn't see. All right, give everybody your social media. Not your social security number, your social media.
My social security number is Dayveonne Bussey on Instagram.
Just check it. There's strange people out there, man.
Oh my gosh.
And
Phil,
for all the kids watching, do not give people your social security number, okay? All right. And don't give strangers your address either. In fact, you shouldn't even be talking to strangers. What's happening here? All right.
Kids, if you know your social security number, you need to have a talk with your parents. Like, why do you know this information at this point? My social security number is IamGT3 on all of the things.
Yeah. GeekCaster.com, GeekCaster on Instagram, or the GeekCaster Network. That's GeekCaster Network on Facebook. And, in case you forget, just look. GeekCaster.com. You can see past shows. And support us. Hit us up. Hey, you want to be a guest on the show? Let's talk about different things. We're also going to do a show coming up. If you're around tomorrow around this same time live, if you're watching us live, you can. We're going to talk about cons and stuff. And we have a special guest that actually runs his own comic book convention. Well, actually, it's more like an action movie film festival / convention thing. And then we're going to do a show about dating, and we're going to talk to Dayveonne about that stuff. So it's going to be awesome. We have a lot of things going on here. If you're watching on cable, just you have to wait till next week. All right, you're watching GeekCaster.
No comment. I'm going to be quiet.
No, you like this. You prepare for this.
Yeah.
We at GeekCaster. We signing off. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here.